Hi. Let's see if this works, goddamn. Hi. Hello, everyone. And welcome to the Hangout stream. We haven't done one of these in a long time. I hope you are good. Apologies for the massively irregular content lately. There's good reason for that. And there's also good reason for why the sound is super canny and why everything is why I'm not using my good camera and everything. I have reasons for everything. Hi though, and welcome to the stream. Let's hope you can hear me. Let's hope the volume is good and everything. It's been a while. As I said, I do have good reasons for why everything. What's this song? No. I need good music, not bad music. Hi again. God, I can't do anything. Can't even speak. Hello. It's been ages since we had a Hangout stream, and the way this works, for those of you who might be new, or those of you who might not remember because it's been a while, the way this works is we just hang out for like an hour and we talk some shit. And I also try, at the very least, to give some vague indication of how the month has been and the month that is coming up. Like that, like it's like a recap. Like a recap of the month or something like that. If you are a patron of mine, or if you follow my Twitter very religiously, you may already know a lot of this information, but I feel like maybe some people don't, and that's fine because I don't know how to read. I can't expect anyone else to. That sounded rude. I didn't mean for it to be rude. I meant for it to be self-deprecating. So let's start off at least with what the fuck has happened, why I haven't made a video in a little bit. It's not a huge, I mean, it is a pretty long wait between videos, longer than it usually is. But I also haven't done streams and stuff. Why have I been kind of quiet? And as some of you have already either figured out, or no, because I've written about it on Patreon and stuff like that, I'm moving, and I'm moving away from Sweden. I'm moving away from the country, which is stressful. It's a big major move. It is exceptionally stressful, and it is even more stressful due to the fact that I have had also, I've been a politician during the same time. It is quite difficult to conduct a move away from a country in which you are a politician, because there are a bunch of laws relating to exactly that type of shit, which means that I have had for the last 6 months or something like that, I have been involved in just a massive amount of fixing paperwork, moving objects and things. This stream that we're having right now, the one you're watching right now, is still in my old apartment in Sweden, that you know and love, I suppose. But this is the last one, and I have progressively been moving things from this apartment to somewhere else in Europe. And yeah, like normally it would probably be pretty stressful. Has been even more so due to the fact that I still have an elected position here in Sweden that I have to go to regularly. And that has been exceptionally stressful. Add to that, my mental health has been kind of in the pits, because that is a stressful situation in itself. But then there has also been the European elections. As a politician, I am expected to be involved in that. There's been the party congress. As a elected official, I'm also expected to like take part in that as well. And all of those things are involved of me being like a how do you say it? Like all of those things are involved. All of those things have like demanded time of me, time and effort and focus and energy, due to the fact that as I mentioned in my last video, in my most recent video about politics, I'm not only an elected official, I'm also like working as it. Technically 50% of like a normal working week, but it ends up being a lot more than that just because of how things are. However, as we're having this little stream, I am finally kind of over that now. I'm no longer working 50%. I'm gonna start working 10%, which means I can dedicate my focus, like my main focus and like energy and dedication and stuff like that. I can actually dedicate that to being a YouTuber again, which is why I've been writing on Twitter that like I'm finally a full-time YouTuber again, which is nice. For a long time, I thought I could be a full-time YouTuber and then be a part-time YouTuber, and then as we've seen, like, I haven't been able to keep up with my stream obligations. I haven't been able to keep up with making a video as often as I would like. And it's just because like being a politician really takes a lot of energy away from me. Too much. Like I have thought about resigning fully and entirely. And that might still happen due to the fact that I'm gonna move and it's gonna be difficult to like work 10% from another country. And if that doesn't work, like if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna resign entirely, and that's a full possibility. But because I'm not that, no more obligations, no more stressful meetings, no more elections, no more conferences, no more bullshit, no more move. Also now, like, I'm done with that shit. Like, this apartment where I'm streaming this from is like empty. Like, there's nothing here. I basically have no clothes. I have my computer that I'm streaming this on currently, and that's it. That's basically all I have, and a suitcase. And I'm shipping all of this to the place where I'm moving to, like tomorrow. So all of those things, right? All of those massively major stressful moments, they're not going to happen anymore. I'm going to be working full-time as a YouTuber again, which is what I want to do. Move is over, which means my mental health is finally, I hope, I pray to God, gonna improve a little bit. But I hope that from hearing all of that shit, I hope that you can see, I guess, where I'm coming from when I say that I've been pretty stressed and why I've been having a hard time doing the things I'm supposed to do. I have been getting a little bit better with that. I've started making vlogs for patrons now that is meant to be as a sort of like recompense for the fact that I haven't been doing my obligations as much. So if you are a patron of mine, I think there are 2 vlogs out. There's going to be another one tomorrow, I think. I had an initial goal that was going to come out weekly. I don't know why I promised that. I can't, like, yeah, I'll do it. Meanwhile, while the European elections are happening, and while I'm like in the most stressful moves of my entire life, yeah, I'll make a vlog every week. That was stupid of me. But I have made 2. There's gonna come a 3rd soon. Yeah. So like, and I'm gonna do those for like a while, just to sort of like keep you, I guess, like people who are patrons, give back for all of the streams that I've missed. And I'm just sorry that I haven't been as active as I've been wanting to. But again, starting like now, essentially, like, or like very, very soon at least, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back doing what I actually love to do. So that's sort of like not necessarily the month that has been, but more like the last 6 months that have been, just because it's been a complex move for reasons that I still have a hard time understanding, but we'll see, you know. So with that said, if you have any questions regarding that or anything else, feel free to do that before I start like rambling about like the summer that's coming up. Because I don't really have news per se, but I do have I don't know, I have projects coming up. Like I have videos that I've been wanting to do for a while that like I haven't been able to do yet. My next video on spirals I've been working on since my last one, since before my last video came out even, and you know, I just haven't had time to you know what I mean? I just haven't had time to do the thing, which is very unfortunate. But now I'm gonna have time. Now I'm gonna have fucking time. Even though, of course, I am mentally exhausted. But that's gonna be fixed now. And that's a good segue for me to go into questions in the chat. Whoa, a stream, I know, it's rare. It's been a while, but I'm hoping for more. How's your brain doing? It's been better, but it is also doing better. There was a period like around the European elections when I was like, ooh, this is yeah. This last couple of months have been like some of the roughest in my entire life. Not necessarily just because of brain bad depression, but just because of stress, just that kind of stuff. But that's over now. All of that is over. I'm free. Which is why I'm so happy. Like I've had, this has happened like when I've done streams for patrons as well. Whenever I've done streams of any kind, I keep rambling about like how happy I am to finally be a full-time YouTuber again, and I really, really, really am. Just because I enjoy doing that. Politics, not so much. Hello, ooh, better canny than uncanny. Oh, the sound. So that is also a reason why the sound is a little like not the best. I'm not using the right microphone. That microphone is in my new apartment. I'm not using my camera. That camera is in my new apartment. I used to have sound insulation here on the wall behind me and also like in front of me and everything. It's not here now because I've taken that off because all of that is in the new apartment. Everything I own is in the new apartment. The most burning question is now to which country you're moving to, if you're allowed to tell. I guess I'm allowed, but my lovely partner Salem has expressed a desire to talk about that a bit more on our podcast, Leechfest. So we're kind of saving it for like a discussion on the podcast more than anything else. But what I will say is like it is a European country. It is within the EU, and it is because of a life opportunity, not necessarily on my end, but a good life opportunity that is impossible to turn down. So you know that is yeah. Like, so it's not like I'm I'm not moving to America or something shit like that. Like I'm moving within the EU, so it could be worse. But it is, it's complicated. It's a weird move. I also don't speak the language, so that's another level of stress. Fucking every single European country speaking a different, unique ass language. Meanwhile, I'm here speaking only Swedish and English. Stupid. Anyway. Is a move secret, like where and why? I talked about the why. The where, again, we're if you're listening to Leechfest, we're gonna talk about that there. We haven't had an opportunity to record that either. That's also the reason why the podcast has not been going. Like everything's been on hold for this fucking move just because it's that. You're not gonna be God Empress of Sweden. I might one day, but not right now. Like I've also been wanting to like this move comes in a good moment in my life. Because I mentioned this in my last video as well. That's like part way through my like election period. I'm my position is basically going to be held by the Green Party, and we decided that like 2 years ago that there was going to be like that. So the fact that I'm no longer having the position where I have to work a lot, the fact that that's happening around the same time as the move is like perfect timing, because I like if I had to work, it would be impossible. Like I would not be able to work and move at the same time. But now I can move and stop working at the same time, so it's great. But who knows what the future holds. I might come back to Sweden one day, but we'll see. It's definitely not Great Britain. It's not Great Britain. All of this seems positive. I think so. I think it will be positive. I think it's going to be a fun experience. I have never moved outside of I've never lived outside of Sweden, so it's going to be it's scary. But it is what it is. The most important thing is to do the thing you love. I agree. 21st century Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Mia Mulder? I'm guessing Germany. You can guess. I will say, just because like Sweden, like living in Stockholm, not close to like any national borders, and I've done that my entire life. Except for, I guess, the most of my life. Living in Sweden, I've lived my entire life. You don't really cross a lot of borders. But now, as like moving to an EU country is a very interesting experience, if for no other reason than the fact of like there are so many countries very close to where I live now. So, it's gonna be fun. Bet the Netherlands. You can guess. Got a mouse. Ooh, Ghost in Shell Paper. Hell yeah. Good luck. You have a great dress. I think so too. Even more excited for the next Leech Fest. Me too. I'm very excited for Leech Fest. This has been one of the most like frustrating things. This has been one of the most frustrating thing about like being so overworked and stressed. That like I've had so many ideas for things for my channel to do that I just have not had time to do. Me and Salem have both had like massive ideas for things, for like things for the podcast, like episode ideas or like segment ideas and things like that. Like we've had so many ideas, but we just had no time to execute on them. Which is torture, because like when you're working in a content creation field, you want to create content. So it's just been in the way. It's really frustrating, but I'm gonna be able to very soon. At least I hope so. Like, can you imagine how fucking miserable I would be if I move and it turns out like I can't do anything anyway and it's just more stress? No, things will now start coming up. I'm manifesting. Leech Fest U-Haul episode. Moving to the Ukrainian front. I'm moving to Denmark so I can run into the street somewhere. It's possible. It is a EU country. I'm not gonna say specifically. Although to be a little bit like living in Europe proper, and not in Sweden, is fun for the sake of like everything's so much more interconnected and cities are so much closer to each other. Like if I want to go to, like if I'm in Stockholm now and I want to go to like another major city, that is 4 hours away. You know what I mean? Like it's a significant amount, like way away. If you're like anywhere in like Europe, it's like half an hour away. And it's great. Like, and you go like 2 countries over half an hour, and it's great. Somewhere warmer. I mean, that's a low bar, to be fair. Will you be returning to Solentuna every month for city council meetings? Yes. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I will be traveling. I'm gonna travel so much. Yeah. I will be, but I will be returning one week a month to like do my basic political duties that I still have to do. So like, but even most of that time, I will still be like doing working YouTube stuff. Just because like it's not worth it otherwise. And if that ends up in a situation where it's like not practical, like if it's too much travel, if it's too expensive, if it's not worth it, like monetarily to travel for city council, then I'm just gonna resign. The reason I'm not resigning is just because my party needs me, and I only say that just because like the party has had a lot of resignations like over like the last couple of years, which means that if I resign, it's going to be even more difficult for the party. But you know, if it doesn't work for me, it doesesn work for me, and everyone's understanding of that. I've had the full support of the party, but we don't have to talk about the party necessarily. I'm not a politician. I'm a YouTuber now. That is my title. My title is once again a YouTuber. I hope I never need to move again. Hopefully your move was relatively easier, or at least worth it. We'll see. Moving away from Stockholm is gonna increase your travel expenses when you collect your Nobel Prize. What Nobel Prize would I ever be collecting? Like maybe a Peace Prize, possibly. They don't give out Nobel Prizes in content. And if they did, I would not win it. You're going to be able to go so many places by train. I know. Swapping trans healthcare system won't be too much of a pain. Yeah, that's something that I'm very scared about. That's another one of those super stressful moments. There's a lot of stressful moments like this. Like like moving from one country to another is like pretty scary, just because it's a completely different political system. It's a different healthcare system. Things cost different. Insurance works different. The legal, like there are different laws and everything. Like, you know, I was wondering how you could juggle both politics and YouTube. Yeah, I couldn't. See, that was the problem. I thought I could. I was so confident that I could do it, and then I couldn't. Like my YouTube channel just kept. The thing I was most passionate about, like, kept falling by the wayside, and it sucks. Like that shit sucks to have happen. And you're just like you're just going to meetings to vote on things that will never pass anyway. So you're doing something that you're not passionate about, at the expense of something that you are passionate about. So like that kind of stuff drains you too. Yeah, so I could not juggle both politics and YouTube. So I'm very happy that I won't have to anymore. Now it's just YouTube, except for like 2 days a month when I actually have to go and vote. But beyond that, I don't have to do shit. I'm very happy about that. No prize in literature, I guess that's true. You feel like you're less deserving of a Peace Prize than Henry Kissinger or Barack Obama. That's fair. But I feel like at this point they give out the Peace Prize specifically to war criminals. And I would like to not be one of those. The province alone is bigger than any single EU country. I like see that, because like that's the thing, right? Like it's no. But so like that has been I guess like the 6 months that have been, which is also like very much coincides to when I started, like when things started falling at the wayside. And like right around when the process to move began, that is when like I started failing doing my streams and started failing doing regular content updates and stuff like that. Yeah. But now we're back. Now this summer, I'm very, very happy to be doing this full time again. And this is something that I'm very excited about. This is something that I mentioned a bit in the video itself, and something that I'm Because like there's a part of me that like the cop in my brain that goes like, well, you have been a full-time YouTuber before, so it's not like, you know, I'm going backwards to what was before. It's not like I'm actually entering a new phase in life. But that is not true. This is not like a step. This is not like a step back to like an old comfortable normal, because I only got my ADHD medication while I was in politics. I've never been a YouTuber while I've been medicated, ever. So starting like, what is it, like starting like next week, because I still have some move stuff to do, right? So I can't start doing, I'm not gonna take out my camera and start recording like immediately. But starting, I think like next week, actually, I'm going to be, for the first time in my life, like fully medicated, and also, how do you say, fully medicated and also a YouTuber. So like I can finally, because like the medication has really helped me get a lot of like energy and focus and like passion. It's just that like I haven't been able to channel it into the thing I'm actually passionate about. So I'm, you know, finally I'm going to be able to do that. My last video had a little bit of a taste of what that could be, and that's me. That's just me on 10% of my power. You haven't seen me on my full power level yet. I've been holding back just because I've had to. Fucking elections, democracy. What a fucking failure, right? What am I talking about? Anyway, have you missed me? I've missed you so fucking much. Please don't everyone leave my Patreon, because then I'm gonna be ruined. The Nobel War Criminal Prize. It's great to see you. It's great to see me too. No, so I'm very excited. So speaking of that, we're halfway through the stream already. Like this happened last time I did stream too. I haven't streamed in so long. I have so much like pent up energy of like wanting to stream, because I love streaming. Like I love to do this. It's just that like it takes like an hour and like a bit every time I stream, and like when you're exhausted, because like I want to give an example of like just like how I got so stressed from politics. Politics is a weird occupation because it regularly ended up in situations when I would go to work at 9 a.m. and then have continuous meetings until like 10 p.m. and come home at like 11 p.m. and then up the next day for meetings at 9 a.m. When that happened, you go a little, like your brain breaks a little bit. Like the human mind was not built for office computer work continuously for every single day. And it's just like I used to, and I tweeted about that like a lot of times, just being like, just like, well, just had another like 13-hour workday, yay. And that just happens just because like there's so many things that demand your attention, but at the same time, nothing that you can actually do to change anything. Like the end result, like the state of the world would be the exact same if I just didn't go to those meetings. But then I would be irresponsible. Like I just have to go and I have to be there, but I like, yeah. Anyway. So that's hell. So back to making YouTube videos, because at least when I work really late on YouTube videos, I at least get a nice video at the end. You know what I mean? Like I at least get something out of it. Probably easier if your party had power. See, because that's the thing also, like if my party was in power, then we'd have more staff. And then I wouldn't have to do anything. It's just like, I'm in a weird position where I'm not in power, but I want to have an impact, so I'm working really hard to have an impact in a system where I can't have impact. And then I'm just like, but why? Anyway, again, like me not being paid for this anymore is going to be so much better, because then I can just be like, sorry, I can't do that. Have to work at my company. And this is my company. Making YouTube videos for a living, that's my company. Mia Mulder Video Productions. I'm so excited. Folks, I'm so excited. And speaking of which, let's talk about the summer, okay? Let's talk about the things that are coming up. Okay, so first of all, first time I'm ever medicated while being a full-time YouTuber. Being able to put like all of this, like the infinite reservoirs of power and energy and focus and passion into videos, and I can already tell it has an effect, because I've shot a little bit from my next video, and I'm still like fine-tuning some scenes for my next video, and this video is a doozy. Like this video, I can tell that like my last video, which I'm really proud of from a quality perspective and an editing perspective, I did that while I could only work on my YouTube videos on weekends. Like I could only work on the weekend for that video, and that video was really good. Now I have the full workday for weeks, unlimited end, and so I'm so fucking excited. I'm so fucking excited to do that, because I can feel myself producing even better quality content, like higher production value content, than ever before, just because of that. And yeah, I keep talking about how excited I am. This is probably not the best content for the stream. But I've been so excited. I've been excited for years, this thing. Like I've been excited for so long. I got so exhausted from politics so quickly. So the things that are coming up now is that like I am still obviously like I'm still in the process of the move itself, which means that I'm still shipping some boxes, and I'm still you know, when you move, you have to like make sure that your apartment's clean for like the landlord, so that they don't keep your deposit and shit like that. It's stuff like that, you know. I have to do that kind of stuff, and all of that stuff is happening at the beginning of next week. Then after that, I'm hopping on a plane and I'm going to my new apartment, and I'm staying there. I'm not like traveling for the entire summer, which is gonna be great. Then we're gonna be back doing like regular streams again. I've been really bad at doing that, and I'm very sorry. But it is also the reason we're doing this on the 23rd and not on the 30th, which is like the actual end of the month. It's just because then I'm gonna maybe want to do another type of stream. Who knows? And then I'm hoping to have my next video be out first or second week of July. I'm hoping, at least. And then, I've scheduled something for the first half of July, and then I'm gonna schedule something for the first half of August as well. At the end of August, that's when I'm gonna travel. That's when I'm gonna start traveling between Sweden and the place and my new apartment place, semi-regularly again. But I'm not gonna have to do that for a while, so I'm hoping to have at least 2 videos done by then. And I know what they're gonna be about, because I've had like 6 months of just like having ideas. Joshua asks if there are ever sandwiches served at these meetings. There are. Like if you have a meeting at 6 p.m, they do give you a sandwich. Like they feed us as politicians, which is very nice. It's literally just like a time issue. Like, you know, you have a meeting at 9 p.m, you have a meeting after lunch, you have a meeting at 4, you have a meeting at 6 p.m. And the reason there are like meetings both during the day and in the evening is because like you have regular office hours during the day, and then you have the committee meetings in the evening. So I'm so free. I'm so happy to be out. I'm so happy to be out. I'm so ecstatic to be out of this miserable existence. This is fun music. Okay. Are there any topics you're especially looking forward to covering now that you have the opportunity? Possibly. I have a couple of video ideas that I've been wanting to do. The first one is the one about spirals. It makes sense, I promise you. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. No one tells me it doesn't make sense. It's about spirals. It's good. It's a good video topic. It's about spirals. What kind of spirals? Spirals. I do have a couple of videos that I've been like wanting to make as well. Like I have a video about sex work that I've been really wanting to do something about. Oh, let me check my. Let me check because I had something planned, but I forgot what it is just because I've been busy with other things. I always have something going on. It's almost like I'm working too hard. Okay, let's just say I have a couple of identity themed video topics coming up about identity. I have a video that I kind of want to like revamp a little bit about. I made a video about nationalism like years and years ago. I want to kind of return to that topic a little bit just because I'm not super happy with. I mean, like, also first it's old as fuck, and also my style has changed radically since I made it, and also I have more shit that I want to say about it. So but it's not necessarily about like nationalism, but more about like identity. I have a lot of identity themed things going on. I wonder why. It's almost like I have a mental health thing going on. I do also feel just because like I have the sex work video is probably one that I've been wanting to make that one for like a really long time. But it is one of those topics that is like, if I do it, I have to do it right. It's not like politics or the economy. Like if I get something wrong, it's like whatever. It's a weird YouTuber. But the sex work one is like it's really important to get that correct, just because it's a very sensitive topic, especially in Sweden, because Swedes and Swedish activists are extraordinarily convinced that the Swedish model of sex work is like objectively the best one. I personally disagree. I think that there are some like things that you could change, but like they are convinced that is the objectively correct opinion, and anything that deviates from that opinion is like massively misogynistic, which is really unfortunate. Just because like I think that the Swedish model of sex work is worse to women. Anyway, but like that's the opinion, right? Like if I made a video about sex work, I would, people would, and I guaranteed, make a thing about it, especially since I'm in politics. Like there would be news reporting is the thing. Like this is such a controversial topic here. It's like it's a controversial topic anywhere. It's even more controversial in Sweden for some fucking reason. I don't know why. But I do want to talk about it just because I have a lot of friends who are and have been involved in sex work, and who I draw a lot of like my opinions and I draw a lot of like my opinions from them, and I want to have their viewpoint also like reflected in the discourse, because their viewpoints are rarely reflected in the discourse about this. So so that's partly that. The spirals one is self-explanatory. I mean, I don't need to go into what that's about. It's about spirals. The video about like national identity, I think this goes into the question that you just asked, Joshua, about like, do you think emigrating to another country will change your attitude towards nationalism in any way? I think me moving and me sort of like dealing with moving to another country, not necessarily moving itself, but sort of like me as an individual relating to the experience of living in a country and why I like it and why I don't necessarily. I think that has influenced my opinion a little bit about that. But it also has, that video also has like hints of sense of belonging. Just because like I have never felt like fully Swedish, just because I'm not. Like my dad's Dutch, and I have felt occasionally excluded by like other Swedes, Like you can tell that occasionally like Swedes will look at you being like as if you're not one of them, as a group. But also, you know, I am also Swedish entirely, right? Like I'm born and raised here. This is the only culture that I know. So it's like that kind of stuff. That one also has a lot of inspiration from discussions I've had with a friend who is Jewish, who also has a lot of experiences about that. You know, having, you know, belonging to a country but not really. That's not what the video is about, but like I've talked to a friend about this a lot, and like national identity in that context. I think that could be. I think that could be interesting somehow. Maybe it won't be. We'll see. Like my videos change so much from conception, from idea to outline to shooting to editing. Like it's a completely different video. Imagine taking ADHD and doing the Palpatine meme. Are you sure you took the correct prescription? Yeah, I mean, I'm in a pretty high dosage. I could probably do unlimited power if I really wanted to. Evil CEO Mulder. I mean, I am technically CEO of my own company. It has one employee. It's just me. It has stocks. I own. It has one stock. I own it. Leechfest next episode 1. Hopefully soon, because this is also the thing. Like I'm hoping beyond hope that we will be able to record a podcast episode like reasonably soon. It is also one of those things that's like it's been impossible to do with the move, and it's but next week, as mentioned, we are going like next week, as like I'm going to be like full time in the country that I'm moving to. Instead of like going back and forth between countries, having all of the equipment there and having, you know, computers and everything there. So like we're really hoping to record soon. I don't think we have a fully set date for when we're gonna record, but it is gonna be soon because we really want to get that started again. Have you read We Too? A friend and I read it together a few years back. It's one of the most powerful sex work books I've ever read. I haven't, but I'm gonna add it to my list because that seems interesting. It's a difficult topic to discuss. Yeah, like that's also the thing, right? Like it's difficult to discuss. You're gonna talk about the film Sweden, Heaven or Hell again? YouTuber malpractice because I learned from you that movie exists. But you never mentioned it is the origin of the Mana Mana song that mostly associated with the Muppets. I had to learn that later. Yes, it is. Horrifically enough, yes. The song associated with the Muppets that goes ba-da ba-da do 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 mana mana do do, that one. It's like like as you say, like it originates in a movie called Sweden, Heaven or Hell. Sweden, Heaven and Hell actually, and it's a movie made by like a hyper conservative person who's like making a scare documentary about Sweden as like a progressive apocalyptic hellhole. It's really weird. It's a weird movie. You're moving. I am moving. Hence why I haven't been able to do these streams. Again, I'm so sorry, folks. I really am sorry that I haven't been able to do these streams for like a while. I've been so overworked. I've been so tired. I've been so exhausted. I've been so like I've split my focus too much. But yeah, like we're in the final stretch now, and like very, very soon, like YouTube is the only thing I'm gonna focus on. Although I might take like a day or so, or maybe a few days, and just play some like I might take a couple of days and play No Man's Sky, just for myself, just so I have a couple of days to relax and like, defragment my brain. Today I actually was planning to pack some of the last things in the apartment, but there's like nothing here. Like I have some clothes and I have some like I have some clothes, I have some things, you know, it is, you know, I have some stuff, but it is, I have the computer, like there's something to pack, so I'm gonna have to not pack. Hope it's okay to ask. Every question is okay. Are you planning to do anything related to Palestine situation? What do people in Sweden generally think about America, Israel, Palestine, or do they not care? People here care a lot. I haven't talked a lot about it like as a creator, just because I feel like I feel like my ability to talk on the situation in Palestine, like specifically as a YouTuber, is very limited, and has the possibility of and runs the risk of sounding like I'm doing something like disgenuine, for lack of a better term, like the impact that I feel like I have specifically here, especially when I've been like haven't been able to like really do it properly. I've been a little worried about like how to do that correctly, and that's why I haven't done much of it here, on YouTube specifically. I have my position like pretty clear on like how I stand on the issue, like at least on Twitter, so like people at least know what I think. Like I think Israel is committing a genocide, like, and the only solution, the only sustainable solution is for like the withdrawal of you know, Israeli soldiers and Israeli settlements, and you know, an actual foundation for a two-state solution. So, you know, but that's not gonna fucking happen with a fucking colonial state. But it is, yeah. So like specifically as a YouTuber, right? Like I try to sort of like make it clear where I stand, but not necessarily like make a statement about it that I feel that doesn't do like a very complex, not complex, but like controversial subject justice. But here's where we're going to like me being a politician again, because in politics, like, you know, that's where I do it. Because like in my mind, this is a political issue. I'm a silly YouTuber, you know what I mean? Like I pour syrup on my face and talk about like bullshit. Like I'm a clown. I'm a clown person who occasionally has a smart opinion. But you know, this is a political issue, and you know, that's where I've been taking that fight more than anything in that. Like I've been going to protests here in Sweden. I've helped organize a little bit, a tiny bit, just as part of like me being part of a left-wing party. I had the opportunity to very, very briefly have a conversation with the Palestinian ambassador to Sweden. So she visited the left party congress that I was very lucky to attend. So that was very, very moving. But like so the circles that I run with, right, like they care a lot. They care a lot about what's going on. And I would say that generally, I think that people are more, how do you say, like sympathetic to the Palestinian cause. That said, though, Sweden does have a very far right government right now that has the backing of former neo-Nazis, and you know that they have the opinions that they have, also in a very like contradictory sense, just because they are far right and very conservative, like most of the government, and they are fervently pro-Israel, and then. Yeah, but Sweden is also one of those is one of the countries that has also like recognized Palestine as a state, like years and years ago, for the good reason that, like, you know, there's a pretty large Palestinian diaspora in Sweden, and things like that. I hope that's a reasonable answer to the question. Like I would say that people do care, and like people do see it as a serious issue here. But then the government is sort of like not necessarily like willing to take actionable steps to actually do anything about it. But people generally are in my opinion at least, pretty clearly, decisively on like, you know, the side that thinks, you know, bombing refugee camps is bad, actually. This tea sucks. Ugh, what the fuck? Ugh, is it old? What the fuck is this? Yeesh. Ugh, ugh, it ruined my whole day. Ruined my whole vibe. Horrible. But it is of course okay to ask. I'm just sorry that I'm stumbling a little bit on the answer, but I hope it makes sense. I am hoping that like, if I can get streaming up and running in my new apartment quickly, I am hoping that maybe I will do a bit more streams and like contribute a bit more to charities and stuff like that. Yeah, the reason I haven't been able to do that is just because of lack of time. Play Ports of Call someday? I would love to, and I promise that I will. I'm gonna drill a hole in the wall of your new place for continuity. No, I'm not. You're gonna see a new wall. Or if I'm really, really fucking lucky, finally a fucking studio space. I've been really wanting to get a studio space to record in. But we'll see. I want a compliment. I always want compliments. I have hubris. I have delusions of grandeur, you know it. Can I publish your videos on my channel with Polish subtitles? I would prefer not. I have also, I've been meaning to answer, but I've just been, again, I've been so freaking busy. Speaking of Polish subtitles, I have seen your emails actually about subtitles for videos. I haven't answered that just because I have been exceptionally behind on subtitling my own videos, again because of lack of time. But I've been like, that is something that I'm gonna be, that's one of the first things I'm actually gonna start doing now, because I've been putting that off now to put actual proper closed captionings on my streams. On my videos. So I'm like, that kind of stuff I'm gonna start catching up on doing. Like, there's a lot of stuff that it, like, now that I'm medicated for ADHD, I can finally actually sit down and do the nitty gritty like sitting down and doing detail work that I could never do before. So I'm gonna do that kind of stuff. And like, once I've done English subtitles for my videos, like once that's done, then I might like look into having like translations done in other languages, and then I might get into using the like the Polish subtitles. I do appreciate doing like the gusto, but like it's and I have a few things that I would like to do on my own first, if that's okay. I wish there was something that could be done to make it stop, but doesn't seem to be happening. Thanks for the answer. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, keep up the pressure, go to protests. Yeah. Call your politicians, you know, especially the ones that like work in the foreign department. The foreign affairs department. Because like, being a politician, I've received a lot of emails and phone calls from like people who are like, hey, do something about this. And I'm like, I would love to, but I work in the municipality. I can't. I do not control foreign affairs. I control schools, or I don't even control that, but I vote on it. But like, I have no power over foreign affairs, none. So, you know, it's unfortunate. Do you have any good tips for dealing with political depression? No. Start a YouTube channel. That's how I did. That's what I did. To deal with my own political depression. No, I can't deal with normal depression. I am severely mentally ill. So like, everything that I'm saying now, by the way, please also take it with a grain of salt of like, if it, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this next week, I'm gonna like catch up with like doing that kind of stuff, and I can't wait to have a video scheduled for them. This is all assuming I don't have like a mental health spiral, and just, you know, you know what I mean? Like it's and just disappear from the world and everything. But I would say like the best way to deal with political depression is to engage on the issues where you feel like you can have an impact on. So like when I say like you can email your politicians, you can do that, like, and that kind of stuff feels like, because like people do read it. It's like everyone kind of thinks that like someone is emailing the politicians. A lot of people don't. Like most people don't. I don't receive that many emails. But a lot of emails that I get from like the public, a lot of them kind of assume that like, I'm sure you've gotten emails about this from other people before, but like, how do you feel about like this and this and this and this? And I was just like, no, you're actually the first person to email me about this, and like you can be too. Literally not her department. Yeah, like that's the thing. Educate the next politician. The genocide is that. Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. I think within my own party, I think it's a bit difficult to get anywhere with that, just because everyone within my party already kind of agrees with me on this issue. And I have very little sway about other political parties. How do you go and make a video? I don't know what I'm doing, or how to even have an idea for a video. Excellent question. This is actually the reason, I'm gonna answer the question. God, I'm answering like a politician. This is the reason why I keep a lot of my older videos up still, even though they're like not great in my opinion. My first ever video was partially like just quality garbage, but it had to do with like fashion sense. I have no idea why that was the video that I wanted to make. But it was like, you know, straight, oh god damn it, it was straight like conceptually, you know, stolen from like another YouTuber who I was very much inspired by. And when you're starting out, I honestly think that that's kind of what you have to end up doing, just because like you only find a rhythm in like creating the content you want to create by creating the content you want to make. So in order to get that started, you kind of have to like steal someone else's rhythm for a little bit. And that's kind of what like every YouTuber does. Some people say that they don't do that. Some people say that they're, you know, starting fully original from scratch, and they're lying. Every single YouTuber I've ever talked to, ever met, have every single time been very openly like, yeah, I wanted to make a video in this person's style. They did it badly, but then you start finding your voice as you start doing that. That's actually what the vlogs of my on my Patreon is partially about, like how to make a Mia Volder video. So yeah, I think you can see those videos if you're a $1 patron. So you could do that and see those vlogs once they're out. I've only made one, and it's only about equipment, so you're not actually going to learn it from there. But the thing I would give, like, here's the advice I would say, like, find like a vague topic for like a topic you think you could just like vamp about. You know, like a topic that you're passionate about, like about, and that you could talk about for a while to anyone who will listen. And then write a small essay about that, like you would in like high school, like a small high school essay. And then that's your script. That's your script. Like like how to adapt that into like a video script. No one knows how to do that yet, and you don't either, just because like no one knows your style. You don't know your style yet. So, but then you have like opinions on a piece of paper that you can work with, and then you just take your phone and record yourself saying those things, and then you're halfway there. Like the biggest issue, the biggest hurdle to come over for content creation is not making good content. Making good quality content is going to come naturally if you just keep doing it. The big hurdle is making bad content, like being okay with making bad content. Because everyone has to make some bad content once in a while. Even like big professional YouTubers still occasionally make like bad videos. And that's fine, but you have to be okay with it being bad occasionally, because then you can just keep going, and you can keep going, and you can learn from that. And until you find like your own voice, speak in someone else's voice. But don't plagiarize. Like you can draw thick inspiration. But don't plagiarize. Script record. Pretty much. Pretty much. And if you have a phone, remember to use your if you have a phone, remember to use this camera. Not this camera, use the good camera. Yeah. And then most of the quality from there on is just editing. If you're a bad public speaker, that's fine, because edited you is a great public speaker. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tobias. Thank you so much, Tobias. I made one video that was shit a year ago and haven't really tried since. See, that's the thing. You gotta keep making shit videos, because like once you make a shit video, once you've made it, you kind of know how you feel about certain parts of it, and you can only really like find your feelings about how the product was after you've like done it completely and released it to the public. Like maybe there are some parts that you're looking at immediately and you start cringing and you're like, oh, that sucks, why did I do it like that? But then you don't do that again. And then for the next one, there are some other things you cringe about, and then you don't do that anymore. But then maybe there are some things that are like, oh, that part was actually really good. Like, I really like how that thing ended up. So you do that more. And then over time, you just start like making really good stuff. You can, theoretically, I guess, like make a video, only show like a select few people, and then use the lessons from that to move forward. But in my mind, it's quite difficult to actually find your own voice in that sense, because then you're a bit more in an echo chamber. It's a lot easier just because like if you release it to the public and you get like a comment, maybe you only get one comment, but you get one comment and they say like, I really like like this point you made. Suddenly you realize, yeah, that part was really good, and like then you can start like building on that kind of vibe. It's all about that. Cringing at whatever you did yesterday is generally a good measure of making progress. Yes, like you have to embrace the cringe. You have to own the cringe. It's so difficult. I still can't do it, but like that's what you have to do. It sucks. Making content sucks. It's the worst. I can't wait to do it full time again. Opinion on Vänsterpartiet approving chat control. Oh, it sucks. Big L. Bad, stupid. You can't, like fucking idiots who like you can't use an AI. You can't there is no way to review and like encrypted private chats without also like removing that encryption and making it easier for and like reducing privacy. And the reason privacy is so fucking important, it's not just because, like, you know, people like buying drugs on Signal or whatever. It's so that, like, you know, investigative journalists can, like, do their work and have safe sources. It's so that people under repressive government can have, like, a safe way to you know, conduct activism and also to give information. It's so that whistleblowers within organizations can you know, give information to journalists without the company, like, using the unencrypted nature of whatever is going on to catch whistleblowers and, like, deter and, you know, deter whistleblowers. I obviously get, like, the intent of chat control. The intent of chat control is, like, the it's the idea of it's an EU proposal that's about using AI to monitor like conversations on like Telegram or Signal or Messenger or WhatsApp or whatever, to make sure that, like, no child pornography is being shared. Great sentiment, wonderful sentiment. But, like, it can't be, like, it objectively cannot be done. Like, it's the only way to do that is to make those services less secure. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But if you're mandating that you can't have, like, safe, encrypted, fully private, like, channels of communication, then it's like, then whistleblowers can't exist anymore. Investigative journalism can't exist. Like, there's so many, like, important, like, aspects of, like, a functioning democracy that just doesn't work anymore. It sucks. Using an AI maybe can work. What's the AI? How does it work? How do you make sure that the AI is actually going to work? How is it biased? How is it going to avoid bias? How is it going to make sure that, like, you can still maintain private encryptions? How is it going to, like, not be misused by future governments? Like, there's so many things here that you can't fucking do. Anyway, so that's my opinion on chat control. I think chat control is stupid. Like, I think it's extraordinarily unfortunate. Anyway, compliment mixed with jealousy. Your hair is always amazing. That's not true. And as a ball transformer, I wish I had your hair. I also watched a video about envy. Sorry to be envious anyway. You're allowed to be envious. I'm envious every single day. I want to make that video again. I like the video. The best feedback I got was that my friend liked when I started ranting about the movie I was reviewing. See, that's the kind of shit that you take. Can't be a YouTuber, I'm not photogenic, I lack confidence and a moral background. Oh, that's no hindrance to becoming a YouTuber at all. You can definitely become a YouTuber with that. I even showed videos of yours to my stylist, asking them to make my wig look like your hair. Never heard that much. Hell yes! This is the kind of shit that I like to hear. I think AI can be good to do robotic, repetitive tasks that humans hate doing. Yeah. Oh yeah, like, AI is fine. Like, conceptually, AI is fine. It's less about, like, using an AI to do, like, chat control, and more about, like, the only way that the AI is, like, granted access in order to do chat control requires removing, like, private encryption, and then the game is over. Like, if an AI can access, like, encrypted chats, then so can the, like, private investigative firm that you know, the massive airplane company has hired in order to find who is the whistleblower within the company. Boeing. Okay, folks, I've been streaming now for over an hour. Time passes so quickly. Can you tell it's been a while since I streamed because I have so much to talk about? I hope I've not been rambling too much. I'm going to here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach the end of the chat, and then I'm going to round off for the day and have some dinner. And then yes, is there anything I missed so far? I don't think so. I have yeah, had a mental breakdown, as I've talked about. Been overworked and stressed and not good at all. Things about to change because I'm moving, and now I'm no longer going to be overworked, and I'm finally back to being a full-time YouTuber. Right? That's the important part. I'm asking you if I have something more important to tell you. I don't think so. Yeah, my next video is about spirals. I think it's gonna be good. There's something else. I can't think of anything else. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna reach the end of the chat window, and then I'm gonna end the stream, and then I'm gonna have dinner. Has news from the UK election filtered back to Europe? I feel like our PM is an international embarrassment at the moment. Oh yes. I don't know how much like the general populace in Sweden knows about the election, but I know, and yeah, Rishi Sunak is like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but it's gonna be interesting to see the one-party state under Labour. I have this like fantasy in my mind of like maybe Keir Starmer is just acting like a fucking idiot so that he can really solidify his majority as widely as humanly possible, because like he feels like the left is secure. He just wants to get like the swing areas, and then after the election he'll just turn to actually be a good left-wing politician. I doubt it, but you know, one can hope. Have you seen Furiosa? I found it really more. I saw it yesterday actually. It was fine. It didn't blow me away like the first one did, but like it's difficult. But it's difficult, I think. It was good. It was fine. I liked it. We have too much trust in our government. I think we do, for sure. I have too much self-criticism to be able to not delete my own videos. That's perfectly fine to do. You're like, there's no right, there's no like right or wrong answer for how to relate to those things. Like I keep my old ones up just because I think just because I like that personally. But like, because like that's something you can do also. A lot of YouTubers do that too. Like they make a couple of videos, they get a bit better at making videos, and then they delete their old ones because they don't, you know, they don't like that anymore, and they don't feel like it speaks for who they are as a content creator anymore. A lot of the big ones do that regularly. I haven't done it because I'm not one of the big ones. Bon appetit. Thank you for the stream interactions. I'm looking forward to making more of these. Ooh, thank you, Jazz On. Good to have you back. Good to be back, Jazz On. Thank you so much. How do I start being more out as an early baby trans woman with a lot of social anxiety and perfectionism about passing? Oh, are you me from 2012? You're literally me from 2012. How do I start being more out? I don't know, honestly. The way I did it was, God, that's a difficult one. Because it's like there's no useful advice other than like, you know, let go of your need to pass or whatever, like, which is bullshit. Like that's not helpful. You know, that's a good thing to do, but it's not helpful advice. I used to have a lot of like private parties. You know what I mean? Like I would try to make friends on like Bumble BFF or whatever. And then like invite people to parties in my apartment. That way you're not like out with like strangers and shit, but you still get to sort of like hang out with people, you still get to interact with people, and you still get to invite strangers to like a place where you're safe, and you still have like, you know, actual like friends that you know from before there in the same space as well. That way you're still in like a safe space, you're still having people that you know, you still get to interact with new people, and you still get to sort of, you know, dress up and, you know, interact with the world in a sense, but in a bit more of a safe space. Like that's the kind of thing that I used to do a lot. I think Starmer, no, sorry, I skipped the question. What type of spirals? You know what kind of spirals. This video, it's so self-evident that the video about spirals is about spirals. Did I come up with this video topic while maybe not super sober? And also, yeah, maybe. Makes sense to me. It spirals. I think Starman will be further left than people expect, but not as much as we hope. At least it won't be as much of an embarrassment as Sunak. Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, like, the Green Party seems pretty good. Be sure to tell us when you will take part in an event. It would be great to meet again. I would, yeah. I mean, whenever I know I'm gonna be at an event in good time, I try to keep I try to keep you informed. I'm probably not gonna be super involved in like Stockholm Pride events, just because I'm not gonna be in Stockholm anymore. But yeah, if I ever get invited to do some sort of event, and I sign up to do it, and I know I'm gonna be there, I try to keep people updated at least. And with that said, good folks, we are at the end of the stream, end of the chat. We streamed for 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's more than the hour I set out for myself. Can you tell it's been a while I streamed? And can you tell I'm medicated for ADHD? I just like yapping now. It's so fun and easy and delightful. But with that said, I hope you've had a good stream. I'm glad to be back. I'm so sorry I've been gone for so long. I didn't mean to be this much of an embarrassment. I didn't mean to be this burned out. But here we are. But hopefully not for much longer. I am going to go and make some pasta or something. I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner. Might just have a sandwich. No, I'm gonna have a real meal. I thank you for hanging out. I will see all of you next time. Next time might actually be my next video, but we'll see. Thank you for hanging out, and bye-bye.